Hello everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a peach branch. Each branch consists of 4 peaches and 7 leaves. First, crochet them separately, then assemble them. We're using variegated yarn for this. The starting color segments are different, so the effect will also vary slightly. Here, the leaves are crocheted using the green segment. For the other parts, refer to the finished product. Or based on your preference, choose the starting color segment. To make it easier to watch, I'll use cotton yarn for the demonstration. First, crochet the peach. Starting with the magic ring, crochet in rounds counterclockwise. After completing, shape it by pulling. Please watch the demonstration. Let's see the chart. Our plus number indicates the round number. The stitch instructions column describes the stitches and increases or decreases when working the current round. The total stitches column indicates the total number of stitches after completing the current round. The stitches used for the peach include single crochet, SC2 in 1, and SC2 tog. Now, please watch my demonstration. Before crocheting, let's learn the basic posture for crocheting. To make it easier for you to see clearly, I will use thick yarn for the demonstration. The color is random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page and the chart. First, begin with the magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands on your index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. And take it off. Then wrap the yarn once around your left little finger. Thread it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the hook with your right hand and move the hook between these 2 points. Insert the hook into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with 1 chain. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. 1 chain is completed. Pull tight. Note: the loop on the hook should not be too tight, or it will be difficult to crochet later. Like this, the magic ring is completed. Now let's crochet the first round. First, work 1 beginning chain. The beginning chain doesn't count as a stitch. It's not marked in the chart. In actual crocheting in rounds, unless otherwise specified, you need to begin each round with the beginning chain, and the beginning chain for the single crochet doesn't count as a stitch. This will not be repeated again. Next, work single crochets into the ring. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are now 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through both loops on the hook. 1 single crochet is completed. There is a V-shaped braid on the upper right. This is the single crochet. Continue to crochet single crochets. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Draw through the 2 loops on hook. The second single crochet is completed. For this round you need to crochet 6 single crochets. Continue to crochet the remaining single crochets. Three. 4. 5. 6. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops. Gently pull the starting tail first. You can see 1 loop moving. Tighten the moving loop. One loop remains. Pull tight the tail. This secures the ring. Next, slip stitch in the first single crochet of this round. Find the first stitch. Count back from the stitch on the right side of the hook. The 6th V-shaped braid is the first stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. And draw through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. This is the slip stitch braid. The joining slip stitch does not count as a stitch, it needs to be tightened. The slip stitch is not indicated in the chart. In actual crocheting in rounds, unless there are special instructions, always finish with a slip stitch and tighten. This will not be repeated later. Like this, the first round is completed. Move on to the second round. In the chart, round 2 is XV*3. The parentheses here indicate a group. Asterisk a few times indicates the number of times to repeat the group. Here it means repeat the group 3 times. Work the first time, make 1 beginning chain. Then work 1 single crochet. Place the starting yarn tail above the hook. Weave in as you crochet. Next, work 1 SC2 in 1 into the left stitch, which means working 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Note to weave in the ends. A SC2 in 1 is completed. This completes 1 group inside the parentheses. I will demonstrate this again. Work 1 single crochet. Then work a SC2 in 1. This is the second time. Continue finishing the third time. After completing, slip stitch to the first stitch. Insert. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch is completed. Pull tight. Like this, the second round is completed. The starting yarn tail has been woven for 1 round. You can cut it now. Continue with the third round. Make 1 beginning chain. This round also repeats the group in parentheses 3 times. Work 2 single crochets first. Then work 1 SC2 in 1. This is the first time. Finish the remaining 2 times. After completing, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Like this, the 3rd round is done. Next, let's work the 4th round. Make 1 beginning chain. This round is repeating the group in parentheses 6 times. Start with 1 single crochet. Then work 1 SC2 in 1. This is the first time. Complete the remaining 5 times. After completing, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Like this, the 4th round is done. Let's look at the texture. Behind the stitches, there are these raised horizontal lines. This side is the wrong side of the piece. The other side is the right side. When crocheting, keep the right side facing you. Now I'll show you how to count rounds. On the right side, there are these raised textures. Avoid the starting position. Count the number of these textured rounds. That indicates how many rounds you have completed. You can see there are 4 textured rounds now, indicating that 4 rounds have been completed. The 5th and 6th rounds involve repeating the group in parentheses 6 times. The 7th and 8th rounds involve repeating the group in parentheses 3 times. Finish these rounds. When crocheting, don't forget to start with a beginning chain and join with a slip stitch. As you can see, this is the 8th round looks like after completing. Move on to the 9th round. In the chart, R9 R10, evenly 36x, indicates working single crochets evenly for the 9th and 10th rounds. Each round has 36 stitches. The format used later means the same thing. The 11th round is repeating the group in parentheses 3 times. From the 12th round to the 15th round, work single crochets evenly. Each round has 39 stitches. Finish these rounds. Now let's work the 16th round. Repeat the group in the chart 3 times. Start with the first time. First, work 11 single crochets evenly. Then work a SC2 tog. Insert into the front loop of the left stitch. Then into the front loop of the adjacent stitch. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and draw through once. A SC2 tog is completed. This method of picking only the front loop for decreasing is called an invisible decrease. Using this method to decrease, the gaps between stitches are smaller, making the piece more delicate. This completes one group inside the parentheses. Move on to the second time. First, work 11 single crochets. Then work at SC2 tog. Insert into the front loops of the 2 stitches on the left. Then yarn over. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. 1, 2. SC2 tog is completed. This is the second time. Continue to finish the third time. After completing, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Like this, the 16th round is completed. For the remaining rounds, follow the chart to crochet until there are about 2 rounds left. Now there are about 2 rounds left. It's time to add the filling cotton. Fluff up the filling and stuff in. Then complete the remaining 2 rounds. Keep adding filling cotton as you crochet. After completing the last round, secure with a chain. Leave a 30 cm tail and cut the yarn. Pick up the yarn tail. Then thread it into a sewing needle. Insert it into the front loop of each stitch. Then pull tight all at once. Be careful not to pull it too tight. You need to insert the stem from this opening later. Then bring the sewing needle to the 4th round. On the side with the slip stitches. And then insert into the opening. Bring the yarn tail to the same position here. this thread along the line of slip stitches. Slightly tighten. And then insert it back into the opening. Shape it by pulling the thread. Then bring the yarn tail down to tie a knot. And weave it inside the peach a few times. Cut the excess tail. Next, crochet the leaves, starting with the foundation chain, then work around the magic ring. While crocheting, wrap thin wire. There are 2 sizes of leaves. Using various stitches, the charts will be labeled accordingly. I won't go through each one. Please watch the demonstration. First, crochet the small leaf. Cut a 20 cm thin wire and set it aside. Start with a foundation chain. The table indicates 1-2 ch, which means chaining 12. Hold the yarn with the left hand. And hold the hook with the right hand. Place the hook below the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use the left thumb and middle finger. Pinch the crossing point of the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Gently tighten. Adjust the size of the loop. Then chain 12. Like this, the foundation chain is completed. Move on to the first round. Start crocheting from the second chain from the hook. Insert into the top loop, which is this strand of yarn. Take out the prepared thin wire. Place it above the hook. Crochet 1 single crochet. Next is 1/2 double crochet. Yarn over. Insert into the next top loop. Note to wrap the thin wire. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through all the loops on the hook. A half double crochet is completed. Next are 2 double crochets. Yarn over. Insert into the adjacent chain. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Draw through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, and draw through in once. A double crochet is completed. Move on to the second one. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over again. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. 1, 2. The second double crochet is completed. Next is a DC 2-in-1, which means working 2 double crochets into the same stitch. One, 2. A DC 2-in-1 is completed, then work 3 double crochets. One half double crochet, yarn over, insert, yarn over, draw the yarn through, then yarn over again, and draw through all the loops on the hook. Half double crochet is completed, then work 1 single crochet, once done, the square brackets indicate to work into the same position. Insert into the left chain. Work 1 single crochet, then work 1 chain, followed by 1 double crochet in the same position. Then work a CH1 picket. First chain 1. Then pick up the front loop and the 1 strand on the left. Work 1 slip stitch. The CH1 picket is completed. Then work 1 chain, followed by 1 single crochet in the same position below. The group in the square brackets is completed. Then rotate the piece. You can see that there are 2 strands left on this side. Pick up these 2 strands to crochet, which means the same entry position on this side of the stitch. First adjust the wire so that both ends are roughly aligned. Then work 1 single crochet, being careful not to insert into the same entry position for these 3 stitches. When working this side, make sure to wrap the yarn tail and the thin wire. Continue to work the remaining stitches. Once done, slip stitch to the first single crochet, pull tight, chain 1, leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Then use the reserved yarn tail to wrap the wire. First apply a little glue to the wire. Make sure the end of the yarn is securely glued. Won't come loose? And now, one small leaf is completed. Use this method. Finish the remaining small leaves. Next, let's crochet the large leaf. First cut a 30 cm thin wire and set it aside. Then chain 19. After completing, begin crocheting the first round, starting from the second chain from the hook. Work single crochets into the back loops. Remember to wrap the thin wire. Until you have one chain left. When you reach the position, work at SC3 in 1, in the last chain, which means crocheting 3 single crochets in the same position. 1, 2, 3. The SC3 in 1 is done. Then turn the piece. Complete the remaining stitches. Be mindful to wrap the wire and yarn tails. After the last stitch, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Like this, the first round is completed. Then crochet the second round. Skip the first stitch of the first round. Start from the adjacent stitch. Crochet the corresponding stitches from the chart. Finish this round. Note that the last 2 slip stitches do not need to tighten. After completing, slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. Chain 1. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Then wrap the yarn tail around the wire. Like this, one large leaf is completed. Finish the corresponding number of large leaves. Like this, the leaf is now explained. Finally, assemble them. This flower branch has several sub-branches. For convenience, we will first make the sub-branches. Start with the sub-branch on the right side going downward from the top. The peach branch is now explained. First cut a 30 cm thin wire. Then fold it in half. Fold it in half again. Creating 4 pieces of thin wire. Then wrap the thin wire with green yarn. Start applying a bit of glue to secure the tail. Set it aside once completed. Then attach the thin wire to the peach. Cut 2 pieces 10 cm thin wire and set them aside. Then use the hook. Pick up at the centered position at the bottom. Pull it upwards, to make it convenient to thread the thin wire. Align the thin wire. Then fold it in half. Cross the thin wire. Then twist it. Then use the green yarn to wrap the thin wire at the bottom. Set it aside once completed. Follow the same method for the next peach. Insert the thin wire and wrap it with yarn. Here we have a peach sub-branch, which needs to be assembled with the leaves. Insert 2 thin wires using the previous method. Then wrap the top for a certain distance with yarn. about 1 centimeter. Then pick up one large and one small leaf. Place them on both sides, with the right side of the leaves facing up. Then combine and yarn over. Wrap until you reach about 6-7 centimeters. Secure the yarn tail. Once completed, set it aside. For the single sub-branch peach at the bottom, it needs to be combined with a small leaf. Align the bases. Start wrapping from the base. Wrap until you reach about 6-7 centimeters and secure the yarn tail. Complete this. Now proceed with the assembly. Pick up the flower stem first. Place a large leaf above. The large leaf is on the left side. Then pick up a small leaf. Place it on the right side. Make sure the right side of the leaves are facing up. Then wrap it with the flower stem. Wrap down to about 2-3 centimeters. The distance between all sub-branches can be adjusted according to preference. Then pick up a small leaf. Place it on the left side of the flower stem. Wrap a few rounds. Then pick up a single peach. Leave about 1 centimeter unwrapped here. Then continue wrapping down for another 1-2 centimeters. Add the previously settled thin wire branch. Leave about 6-7 centimeters unwrapped here. Place it on the right side of the flower stem. Continue wrapping down for another 3-4 centimeters. Then on the left side of the flower stem, add a peach with 2 leaves. Leave about 3-4 centimeters. At the bottom of the peach unwrapped, wrap down for another 2-3 centimeters. Add a large leaf. Place it on the right side of the flower stem. Continue wrapping down for 2-3 centimeters. Add a single peach. Place it on the left side of the flower stem. Leave about 1 centimeter at the bottom of the peach unwrapped. Wrap down for 2-3 centimeters. Add a peach with a small leaf. Place it on the right side of the flower stem. Leave about 1 centimeter at the bottom unwrapped. Continue wrapping down until there are about 10 centimeters left on the stem. Finally, tidy up the shape. The top peach should be positioned at the front. The peach on the left side should bend to the left. The peach below and to the left should be slightly forward. This completes the explanation of the peach branch. If you have any questions during the process, Don't hesitate to reach us via our customer service. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, enjoying the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.